Hey, Paul from Machado here, and today we're going to talk about the Seaside from Machado Surfboards and Firewire. Don't forget to subscribe to the Machado channel right up here and get these reviews as they drop. Okay, so the Seaside from Machado Surfboards. Now, for those of you familiar with the Go Fish, this board is kind of the evolution of the Go Fish, and as you can see from that outline, it's really wide. It's pretty short. This particular one is a 5.5, but it's wide. It's really fishy, but it is pulled in compared to the Go Fish. So not as much out and out width and that real small wave and speed design that Rob brought with the Go Fish. This one has been tweaked a little bit more towards high performance. So in terms of waves, we're talking about that 1 to 5 foot range. If you check out some of the promo vids that Rob's making, he's in the tube quite a lot on this board, but it will go in all types of surf. You can get it on the open face, those soft walls. This is pretty much going to go anywhere you want to take it on the wave. So in terms of surfers, we're talking intermediate, beginner intermediates, right up to expert level surfers. This board is just going to give you a ton of speed. It is really short. The other thing about it as well, it's super light. We're going to come onto the construction in a bit, but a really light, really responsive board that is electric from the moment you pop to your feet. So outline, as you can see, pretty wide throughout, wide up in the nose, pretty wide in the tail, that straighter outline, but again, it's less wide than the Go Fish. So this is a little bit of a progression towards more maneuverability, towards maybe slightly steeper pockets as well, slightly steeper sections. Rob actually tested this one out at Chopu, kind of small 4-5 foot Chopu, but nevertheless, powerful reef break surf. This thing still will perform, so it's just a little tweak towards performance compared to an out and out design for tiny soft waves. Quite a bit of foam throughout on this one. I mean, this particular one is pretty short. You're going to be riding this several inches shorter than your regular shortboard. So as a result of that, it's pretty beefy, pretty much all the way to the rails. There's quite a bit of foam there so that this thing paddles for you, so that it gives you the speed. It does just tweak out and go pretty refined in the tail though. So that's something you're going to notice the first time you pick this up. Apart from the overall lightness of the board, you just see it's really refined through the tail, almost kind of fading to real thin as you go through that tail. So there's not a lot of beef in here. And again, that combined with the lightness, that's going to keep things really, really responsive. Don't want to be dragging around a ton of foam right in the tail of the board. So Rob Machado, obviously he's pretty particular about his performance. And this one's super refined, some nice edges through that tail through there. But overall, plenty of meat throughout this board, right up to the nose. Pretty beefy and beaky up here. And as you're paddling into waves, something this short, you're going to need that volume to help you get the waves. As soon as you stand up, this thing's going to absolutely fly. This particular one is 5.5, 21 and 15/16, 2.5 thick, comes out as 31.5 litres. Probably going to be riding this a couple of extra litres than what you might be used to. We've got that HELIUM construction, giving you that little bit of extra buoyancy as well. So you can afford to go pretty short on this one, but it will just be bringing you a couple of extra litres in case you're feeling thirsty. A relatively generous outline, pretty wide. Again, thinner than the Go Fish, but still in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty wide board. There's quite a bit going on underneath. Let's have a look, see what's going on the underside. And there's a bunch of curves to kind of geek out on here. And they all translate into speed and performance. But as well as that, they also look pretty cool. One of the kind of hallmarks of the contemporary Firewire range and of Machado surfboards is these bottom contours. There's a bunch going on here and it's pretty pronounced. So we're talking a fairly pronounced single, starts about here through the middle of the board. There's quite a lot of it there. And that single concave, channeling that water, giving that lift. We've got a spine that comes into things maybe half a foot or so in front of the fins. So this spine starts to come here, goes all the way back through the board. It's actually really, really pronounced through the fins, that spine. And that single concave up underneath your front foot, under your chest, goes into a double through here. And then that spine This doesn't actually have a stringer in the middle, but if it did, that stringer area of the board is actually really quite pronounced through the fins, right out through that tail. There's quite a lot there, and you can really feel that double concave on either side of that spine, right the way through the fin. So there's plenty going on there, and that is all about channeling that water, giving you that lift. It's designed to be a quad. It's built with that in mind. So just think of those quad characteristics: a little bit more grip, a little bit more speed and drive, no center thing to slow things down, but it is designed specifically to go as a quad. You could just throw any set of quad fins if you're an idiot. But guess what? Rob Machado's come up with his own quad fin set specifically for this board. Yeah, Rob's come up with them. No, Rob's gone into his laboratory and he's designed them himself with no help. Definitely Rob. The quad fin setup from Machado, a keel fin and a much smaller trailer as well. But the whole board is designed specifically with that fin setup in mind. So you probably would be advised to get the Machado quad fin setup to go with this board. All of these concaves, all of these curves, every design aspect of the board is specifically designed with those fins in mind. So that's what Rob's recommending on here. And who are we to question Rob? In terms of rocker, we're talking it's relatively gradual. That's going to give you a ton of paddling speed. It's going to help you catch waves. And it's going to make this thing fly over softer, flatter sections. We've actually got the HELIUM technology on here. So compared to the LFT, this is lighter again than the LFT construction. So the HELIUM blank is coming in around about 360 grams. So it's the lightest blank in the Firewire range. Other significant difference from the LFT, don't have that composite stringer. There's no composite stringer in the middle. So we do have the parabolic stringer, that's the rail, paolownia and balsa wood on the parabolic stringer around the rail, but none in the middle. Combined with the lightness, it's going to give you quite a lot of flex. That all just adds to making this thing really feel alive. So the Seaside from Machado, a small to medium wave board. It will go in steeper sections, even small running tubes, a great board for that. The quad fin setup, giving you that extra performance, slightly pulled in relative to the out and out fishy style of the Go Fish. A beauty of a board from Rob. Don't forget, subscribe to the Akiwatu channel right up here. Get all the videos and reviews as they drop. I'm Paul Evans, reminding you as ever to enjoy yourselves. It's later than you think.